So Mike, you've had the LG Wing for how long now?
I've had the LG Wing since November of 2020.
And we've done a video about it before in the past. I'll put a link up here.
Yeah.
First, what's your opinion of the LG Wing quickly, just to recap how you felt about it?
Well, as a lot of people that have watched Frank's videos have seen, we've seen some hate in the comments because my opinion on the LG Wing is not one of the best. For what it is, it's a very unique phone. It has some unique features and it can be impressive in certain spots. I still wish it was more so. I'm more of a fan of the more premium phones. Personally, I use my phone very extensively. So it would have been nice if it had some better features, but overall, it's a pretty decent phone.
I think the LG Wing would have done better if they had put a premium processor inside of it instead of going a couple rungs down the ladder. And the build quality could have been better. I know you said there were some problems like with the screen having some weak spots.
Yeah, right where the hinge is in the screen. So right underneath this section of the phone is a hydraulic shock, same as what you would see in your car. It's just very, very small. And there's a soft spot there. So inevitably, these minute components that they did not perfect before releasing the phone are wearing out. And now that the company is shutting down their smartphones, you're not gonna have the support there to really get that taken care of.
Yeah, so moving away from the phone, going back to LG itself, what do you think as an LG owner, what caused the company to shut down their smartphone business?
Well, I think that LG as a developer of phones has always kind of been second fiddle. Anybody that's been an Android user, as myself, knows that Samsung has dominated that market. Even the Google Pixels, which have had some interesting features to them, really have not come close to what Samsung's grip of the market has had. LG, I think, has come closer than Pixel, but at the same time, time and time again, they produce mediocre phones at still a kind of a high price point, and the ones that they did at a more affordable level were definitely nowhere near in the same quality as some of Samsung's more affordable phones. So even in that market, they weren't very competitive.
I feel like years ago, like back when the LG G3 and G4 were out, I feel like they were, right below Samsung in terms of what you got for the money.
Yeah.
But then I feel like there were some problems like that. I think it was the G4 or G3 or maybe both, but they had boot loop issues where the phone would just not boot up and it would keep showing the booting screen and turn on and off again. I think they lost a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I think they didn't fully address the issue, if I remember correctly, and a lot of people turned away from them at that point. And then in the middle, I feel like you had a couple of years of phones that were just mediocre. Like, they weren't terrible, but they weren't mind-blowing, and they were just as expensive or almost as expensive as the competition. These are just our personal opinions as people who have dealt with these phones, but
definitely let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, give us your opinion down below. Let us know. But yeah, LG marketing also was kind of, it wasn't stellar. Like, part of the reason Apple is so successful is their campaigns are memorable and upbeat and cheery, and I just don't remember that from LG.
No.
So,
we've had so many people that have come into the store and I flip out my phone and they go, wow, what phone is that? And it's the LG Wing. Well, how is it that a phone that is so visually stunning and impressive with the certain features that they paid a lot of money to get implemented has no marketing to where people haven't even heard of it?
I think it was a budget.
Been out for a month?
I think it was a budget issue. I think LG just didn't have the cash to throw at that particular business segment. But when he's right, when you look at it, you could probably make some pretty cool commercials like this. Like, I don't know, it kind of looks like a nunchuck. Maybe they could have a ninja throwing it and showing how cool it is. But the build quality of this in person just doesn't look as impressive as you would expect from the phone itself.
No.
And, I realized this was what, $1,000 phone?
Yep.
If they had made it a $1,300 phone and put better materials into it, maybe more people would have went for it.
I think that the same people that were willing to spend $1,000 would have been willing to spend $1,300.
Yeah.
Like, I literally had just finished paying off $1,300 for my Note 9. And had this had the more impressive features, I wouldn't be as disappointed in it. We'd still have the problem that, like, I still don't have Android 11 on this thing. And there was a J7 that had Android 11, for crying out loud.
I think that's a big issue in Android in general, is the software updates across the board aren't consistent, but that's not LG's fault. I mean,
no, I mean, that is an Android problem all around. Like, we've been talking, I have a 6S that's a 6-year-old phone that I was able to activate and use, and I've had no issues with, except for the limited storage capacity, which that's a given. But
and on iPhone you can fix that through iCloud. You can buy more iCloud space and it integrates right into the software. I think on LG, you know, there was the skin that you put over Android for LG just wasn't very modern looking either. I heard one YouTuber say that it looked like it was stuck in 2009, and I kind of agree with that. I mean, one thing I did appreciate on LG though is they had Google Assistant integrated right into their skin. Like it wasn't like Samsung where you're trying to overlay Bixby and Google Assistant.
Yeah, that is one.
Or getting forced into having a Bixby button, where I think the LG
had a Google
Assistant button in it as Google Assistant pops up on the phone.
Google Assistant does work very well with it, and like with the V60 there was a push button access for Google Assistant, which made it very accessible. With the Wing you don't have that. You do have the voice commands, and there's also the function that you can swipe up from the bottom corner and bring that up if you don't want to use the voice commands. So there are definitely still options that are there. Google Assistant works very well, but it is definitely a plus that you don't have to contend with Bixby, because
it's just
nobody likes Bixby.
It's half-baked. It's not like as bad as Siri is. Bixby's worse and sounds worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, at least you have Google Assistant as a backup for Bixby. So.
And in terms of like cloud support, you know, being on Verizon for my own needs, like that's included with my plan with the cloud storage. I really don't have to worry about that for myself personally, but other people might not have that luxury.
So in terms of the smartphone hierarchy, you know, at the top you've got Samsung, you've got Apple, and then LG. We were saying in our opinion, LG was right below them.
Yeah.
Who should replace LG in the middle? Do you think it's going to be Google Pixel? Do you think it's going to be another company like OnePlus? Do you think it's going to be a competitor we don't know about yet? Well, who do you think takes up the slack that LG's leaving behind?
I mean, realistically, OnePlus wants to be that, very much so.
And their phones look good.
They do look good. They've got great marketing behind them. You know, at one point in time, I had no idea what a OnePlus was. Now they're all over the place, and everybody knows them. So
years ago, I used to just think of them as a knockoff brand that was, trying to make noise.
Xiaomi, like they're another one Xiaomi. They are another one that is coming out of obscurity, and I mean they're not very obscure now. A lot of people know the brand; they might not know how to pronounce it, but they know the brand. I think a lot of
what's holding those brands back is the
limited availability in the U.S.
Limited availability in the U.S., but also the perception that there's some sort of issue. Well, knockoff, but security issue being that aren't all Chinese companies partly owned or invested in by the Chinese government. That's why you had ZTE and Huawei being forced out of the market. Huawei could very well have replaced LG in that third spot, or even higher. They were beating Samsung in sales for a while. If it wasn't for the trade issues going on with, I think the Trump administration banned them for a while. I don't know if they're still banned, but that's going to be interesting to see who takes that third spot.
And I mean, realistically, the market is primed for Pixel to step in. With the Pixel 5,
they're blowing it at the top end, though.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
They high end. It feels like
they didn't even put out an XL version for their iPhone 5. We've heard rumors that you might see something, but these rumors are, like I'm saying, they're primed. The market's ready for something that's an alternative to the two big competitors, and they want to see something impressive. The way the cameras have been functioning, like everybody loves the photos on the Pixels.
With very little hardware.
So if they actually made something with competitive hardware, what are the possibilities there? Maybe we'll see something, hopefully.
When the Pixel lineup first came out, I thought, geez, this kind of looks like the iPhone of Android.
And that's what they're trying to do.
I've used iPhone for a long time. I thought, geez, you know, if I was ever going to switch to Android, this would be it. But now when I look at it, it's like there's no high-end replacement for if you want to switch over to a Pixel from anything else. You're looking at one, what is it, like a 6-inch phone?
Yeah,
the Pixel 5 is like 6
I think it was
inches?
5 point something.
Yeah, and that's
display,
not
yeah.
going to entice. I like a big screen phone. That's not going to convince me.
I like
to
a big
switch.
battery phone too,
Yeah,
and in
yeah.
order to get a big
Well,
battery, you kind of have to
And I think
upgrade
iPhone
yourself.
proves that it's not necessarily about the battery; it's about the optimization of the software
That is
and the
true.
hardware. So, because iPhones never have the biggest batteries, but they do good with what they have. So,
as I say, the 12 Pro Max that you have that we're actually shooting on right now, the battery life is incredibly impressive with that. So, you know, I've seen it firsthand. I'm always one to look at the stat sheet, and if it, you know, a 5,000 milliamp hour battery compared to the competitor being nowhere near, like
I think the iPhone 12 is like 3,800 or something,
Yeah.
but it lasts all day. You know,
Yeah.
I shoot video with it, I do everything with it, and I make it through the day. By the way, all the equipment we're using today, links are down in the description if you want to check them out on Amazon. Go right ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to kind of cap this video off, you as an LG owner, what's next for you? Where are you going?
Well,
You're homeless. You're
I'm
homeless now.
yeah.
Where are you going?
I mean, like, luckily I have the benefit, you know, like with where I am dual career and I'm in real estate, I have a different phone for that, and I'm using iPhone for that. So
would
being
you
able,
consider switching over to all iPhone?
you know, honestly, the thought crossed my mind if I could do 2 lines on, you know, on the same network on
same
one
phone.
phone.
Yeah, on one
I'd consider it, just because then you only have one device to carry around, and I'm
I
about
tried it out for
simplicity.
fun.
But
It's really smooth. Having the two SIMs in one phone, it works really well.
it's just a matter of if you can do the 2 lines both being on the same network, and
Yeah, you can. It works. Yeah, I've seen
well,
it work.
I've seen it too, but I haven't tried to do it myself.
Would you
yet,
stay
so.
if you stay Android? Who would you go to? Would it be Samsung?
I mean, right now, I would love to try some of the competitors, the foreign competitors, but because they're not available, I don't really have that option. I feel like I'd have to go
and I feel like they're
Samsung.
not as well integrated with the providers here.
Yeah, like I don't want to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I'm not entirely happy with what, as a customer of Samsung, I'm not happy with my experience in terms of the amount that things keep getting, you know, jumped up for what. Now they've made some changes with the S21.
Yeah, I think you've said before that they're not experimental enough for you.
Right, exactly.
For the money, like you want some more wow factor.
Yes,
out of the
I want
Samsung
something
products.
unique. I want something that not everybody's going to have. That's
But I
going
guess
to
at
be
this point, all
particular.
phones are turning into candy bars, the same length, size.
Unfortunately, I was hoping that, you know, this experimental line with LG was going to be something different, and that's what I wanted to put my money behind. And it tanked. You know, what are you going to do?
Well,
But
it's cool to find out your opinion.
yeah, thanks for having me on your channel.
Yeah, link to Mike's channel will be up in the top. Down in the description is all the gear we're using today.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe down below. And hey, thanks for watching. So Mike, you've had an LG V60 for how long? Or I'm sorry, you've had the LG Velvet. Oh, redo. Take 2.
You screwed that up in one singular line.